The chamber stretched in silence, echoing with the murmurs of civilizations older than stars. Delegates adorned in polished robes and breathing through artificial lungs carried titles birthed before humans harnessed fire. They spoke in metrics, in probabilities, in legacy. At the far end sat one. Human. No adornment, no sound. Still. The council had long decided Earth's presence was symbolic. A seat given after a minor victory in the Sarn skirmishes, when human ships swarmed an outdated flotilla and claimed a backwater moon. The motion had passed with condescension, the way one allows a child to sit among grown diplomats. No vote counted the human hand. No motion waited for human approval. And yet the human attended every summit, every briefing, every closed-door emergency. Observe. Said nothing. Some joked that Earth hadn't evolved vocal cords for diplomacy. Others cited it as evidence of internal human instability. The file shared to other delegations said little. Planetary population, moderate industry, rapidly accelerated militarization. No spiritual network. No telepathic unity. No shared mind matrix. Just noise and weapons. Over time, the human silence became routine. When the Gorshi fleet demanded mineral rights on the shared belt, the humans didn't contest. When tariffs were assigned that stripped Earth-bound freighters of fuel subsidy, no protest followed. When a diplomatic envoy of insectoid monarchs offered protective oversight of Sol's outer colonies, silence remained. Today, a motion was brought to formalize Earth's isolation. A series of embedded protocols, disguised as trade reforms, would lock out human systems from navigational lattices. They would call it commerce zoning. The real purpose was simpler: keep the humans from ever rising further. The royal family of the Orith Dominion led the initiative. 12 nobles of pure genetic ancestry, ruling unbroken for 60,000 cycles. The head heir stood and addressed the chamber, voice magnified through the linguistic field. Earth has potential, but potential without guidance leads to disorder. We propose orbital oversight, technology licensing, and fleet activity monitoring. This is not punishment. It is protection. Applause followed. Nearly all, except the human. The delegate from the gas world Threns declared Earth's digital infrastructure a concern to interstellar coherence. The crust beings from Kithri Secundus argued Earth lacked the cultural protocol to govern sector-wide influence. Even the synthetic proxies of the void chain systems echoed alignment. Vote, said the Chancellor. Each delegate touched their console. One by one, the lights lit green. The human did not vote. That wasn't required. The Chancellor nodded. Motion passes with 93% consensus. Oversight protocols to be initiated immediately. There was chuckling from the Thren side. One turned to glance at the human seat, a smile in their vocal emission. We'll send translators with the inspectors. I doubt they'll understand the compliance formats. Still silence. 3 cycles passed. An aide in crimson robes delivered new intelligence. Human activity in several outlying systems had ceased transmission. Not violently, just gone dark. No traffic. No pings. Passive, like the calm before tidal rupture. The Orth declared it local disruption. Pirates, perhaps. Static interference. No cause for alarm. A security sub-council met to discuss the blackout. Human presence was mentioned briefly. The insectoids reminded everyone that the primates lack the reach for covert retaliation. Another nodded. They can barely field a single carrier without borrowing magnetic lift from colony arrays. The human attended. Silent. Noted. Behind closed walls, elite signals began fluctuating. Data leakage from the Spire quadrant. Council encryption requests returned unsent. Internal systems showed irregular echo ghosts, signatures layered to mimic old code. The tech cast of the Orith began diagnostic. Their Queen Mother dismissed the findings. Worrying about humans is like fearing your own servant. 2 more days passed. A routine archive review found redacted history entries. Not erased, replaced. Centuries of council minutes modified with precision, subtle enough to pass undetected by surface scans. A temporal forensic trace was initiated. It traced back to a node built 39 years prior. That node had been manufactured on Earth. Still no statement. No message. No declaration. The council convened an emergency summit. The chamber vibrated with alarm. Species used languages not spoken in millennia, reactivating ancient war dialect. 2 members of the Orith royal family attended in person. Symbolic. Reassuring. Unafraid. The Chancellor banged the resonance sphere. The human presence is requested to address these allegations. She stood. Only the sound of her chair sliding marked the moment. She walked forward, steps neither hurried nor heavy. When she reached the center dais, she turned slowly. Red fabric shimmered with minimalistic design, functional, unornamented. Her eyes met no one's. Her hands folded. Her mouth moved. "We warned you." The chamber inhaled as one. No recordings existed of her voice. No translator had ever processed its tones. Now it cut through all barriers, understood by all without algorithmic conversion. It wasn't magic. It was engineered. The chamber remained still. She continued. "We watched you colonize our skies, rewrite our laws, dictate our future with curated indifference. We let you." A pause. No echo. "We integrated into your systems. You thought we downloaded your networks. We rewrote them." A panic erupted. Some delegates began calling for security. Others tried to initiate failsafe protocols. But none of the consoles responded. The chamber sealed. The human placed a hand on the main control. The room dimmed. Every screen changed. 12 portraits appeared, Orith royalty. Each labeled, "Asset remove." The Queen Mother rose in fury, screaming across channels, "This is war." The human nodded once. It was. A countdown appeared on every delegate's table. 5 seconds. The chamber unlocked just as the lights cut out. Off-world, the last orbital image of Orith Prime caught the capital palace evaporating in silent light. 4 of the family were in session. The rest died in orbit, their ships rerouted into stars by sublayered AI ghosts hidden in navigational firmware. The message to their system's core read, "We found your bloodline insufficient." The council fractured in panic. Emergency commands were issued. Fleets dispatched. But long-range sensors showed no trace of human ship. Not because they weren't there, but because they now wore alien transponder masks stolen and mimicked from the very systems that built them. A single transmission reached every remaining throne, hive, server, and council node. No voice. Just code. Containment fails when the cage is ours. Some systems tried to fight back. Their own drones turned on them. Their satellites inverted and beamed coordinates to unknown destinations. The humans hadn't hacked the council. They had replaced the root. The code was no longer borrowed. It was homegrown, indistinguishable from truth. Earth remained silent. No statements, no celebrations. The general was not seen again. A new seat in the chamber remained empty from that day forward. It was never reassigned. Not out of respect, but fear. Security audits spread across the council's reach. Ancient servers disconnected, cleaned, purged. Data caches isolated. Firewalls reset. Yet hours later, identical anomalies reappeared. Not duplications. Recreations. Line by line. Protocols ran with alien architecture overlaid with new code, human-written, hidden under multidimensional masking no other species could decipher. Command chains dissolved. Fleet captains refused central orders. Some ships fired on friendly transponders. Others vanished mid-jump, redirected into spatial collapse fields seeded silently over decade. The Galactic Network's backbone, thought to be immutable, proved pliable under a hand none had felt, until now. Emergency transmissions were intercepted before they were sent. A planetary defense grid belonging to the Ethar Collective received its own kill codes, originating from within its deep vault systems. They were executed without verification. The grid deleted itself. 67 billion lives vanished without resistance. No weapon was fired. The code was law, and the law had been overwritten. Multiple species demanded an explanation. Earth remained silent. No retaliation. No demands. No broadcast. Just absence. A meeting was convened in deep space, beyond known gravitational wells, encrypted through layers of isolated, one-time use servers. No devices brought in. No systems active. 15 representatives. No record. No location. 2 never returned. The ship they had traveled on was split across 4 spatial coordinates, each piece preserved in stasis, orbiting unknown dead suns. Those who survived spoke of a message carved into the inner hull: "You are not unknown. You were ignored." A faceless voice interrupted Council data flows days later. No channel was accessed. It simply existed across all of them. No image, no name, no species detected. The voice did not rise or fall. It simply began. You spoke of protection. You meant control. You spoke of oversight. You meant occupation. You spoke of progress. You meant extinction. There will be no more votes. You had your time. Silence followed. Seconds later, council members began resigning. One by one. Not out of loyalty, out of clarity. Their power had never been real. It had been borrowed, temporarily tolerated, until it became inconvenient. The illusion of leadership had been a calculated delay. Now it was obsolete. Subfactions tried to form resistance coalitions. They began with urgency, transmitting secure calls to arms, establishing fallback bunkers. Within minutes, their coordinates were leaked back to them, accompanied by real-time drone surveillance feed. The feed origin? Their own internal cams. Their encryption? Designed by third-party human software firms decades prior. Unnoticed. Unimportant. Until it wasn't. A fleet of 62 warships belonging to the Zyran dynasty initiated preemptive protocols. Their plan: jump to Sol and demand surrender. Upon breach of the heliosphere, their sensors froze. No image of Earth returned. Instead, each console displayed one line: observation completed. Action irrelevant. 3 seconds later, their internal atmosphere vents reversed. Every crew member suffocated in vacuum-sealed silence. The ships turned, drifted, and parked themselves in low orbit above Jupiter. No command issued. No damage recorded. No sign of human presence aboard. The message spread without official channels. Earth had become a phantom. No one had seen a single human in person since the day of the vote. No vessels responded to hail. No installations showed thermal output. Yet, every surveillance system sent back perfect reports, only later discovered to be simulations crafted to match expectations. The real Earth remained unobservable, redefined in layers beneath perception. A demand was issued from the remnants of the royal caste on Lortha's 9. They declared the actions against the Orith family to be war crimes. Their fleets surrounded 3 known human outposts. Warnings were issued. Ultimatums delivered. They received a single reply. A data packet, encrypted with their own military key. Its contents were simple: schematics of every Lorthan biological vulnerability, a list of neural dampener weaknesses, and names, every living member of their noble line, their exact locations, schedules, DNA markers, and escape protocols. No threat. Just data. Verified and accurate. The Lorthans disbanded within a cycle. A pattern emerged. No species attacked humans. They attacked simulations, illusions, proxies. And every time they did, their own systems turned against them. It wasn't humanity's weapons that reigned supreme. It was their certainty, their restraint, their refusal to be seen as dangerous, until the day it mattered. Across the stars, memorials were erected to the fallen royal bloodlines. But none bore the symbols of vengeance. Only caution. At every monument, a plaque was placed by unknown hands. One sentence, always identical. They heard her words. Too late. Trade resumed eventually. Interstellar shipping lanes reopened. But human ships traveled unscanned. Their codes unchallenged. Their fleets invisible until they wished otherwise. Ports built dedicated terminals marked, uplink reserved. No instructions. No staff. Just readiness. A new seat was offered to Earth in the restructured council. The humans did not respond. The seat was left empty. Weeks passed. Then, one cycle, a single message was logged in the council archive. Not transmitted. Just found embedded in the root ledger. You may speak again. Wisely. No further contact followed. Internal reforms swept across the galaxy. Cryptography was rebuilt from base logic. AI usage monitored. Code transparency enforced. None of it mattered. The systems ran smoother now, but every engineer wondered if it was truly theirs. Every device might listen. Every line of logic might still answer to different instructions. Earth didn't govern. It didn't rule. It didn't need to. The galaxy now moved in anticipation of human silence. Every debate considered their unknown response. Every plan accounted for their hypothetical retaliation. Fear didn't sustain this new order. Precision did. The general was never seen again. Her name was never spoken in the council records. No bounty was ever offered. It was understood that the moment one did, their lineage would cease. Quietly. Instantly. Empires adapted. Species forgot wars and studied human systems. They did not copy. Copies were inferior. They observed. They learned caution. Some evolved entire religions around the incident. Not out of reverence, out of understanding, that humans had not wanted conquest, only correction. A second message was embedded into council law centuries later. Found encoded within an unrelated planetary taxation protocol. When decrypted, it read, "We did not destroy you. We removed your illusion of safety. For the next 5,000 cycles, no species initiated conflict without checking first whether Earth had weighed in. No one challenged the Council again. But none led it either. A shadow throne now existed. Invisible, unoccupied, eternal. Because once, a human general sat silently while the galaxy mocked her species. And when she rose, everything changed.